Greetings, welcome back to Age of Wonders for my custom faction showcase. Let's get into it. I ended last time with Teferi something. We were like way down here. Skeletor, Scraw, Tanazir, Teferi. Alright, oh cool, this is a fun one. Terra Branford. Such an odd name. Terra was the protagonist of Final Fantasy VI. And she was like half human, half like magic being called an Esper in that. Final Fantasy VI is not only one of my favorite like turn-based RPGs, it was my first turn-based RPG. It might have been my first real video game. I think it was the game that my friend showed me that I was like, whoa, I didn't realize video games could be things other than like Super Mario Brothers. I never really liked Super Mario Brothers. I don't dislike it, just not for me. But I saw Final Fantasy VI, at the time it was Final Fantasy III, because it was on Super Nintendo, and I was like, this is like anything I've ever seen before, and I was hooked. And so, yeah, I made a few Final Fantasy VI characters. I haven't made a ton. She's definitely kind of like the most iconic, just because she's so weird. Not weird, but she's a very unique character in the game. She has this ability to transform into this like pink fairy sprite being of energy sort of thing. She gets very powerful, but it's very easy to get very powerful in that game. A couple of like early level exploits you can do. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up the art for her online because she's similar to that character Kefka we looked at many episodes ago. They had that like crazy art style. I'm gonna pause, stand by. Okay, here we are. This is some of the artwork for her, and I guess I don't know if this is the same artist, but this is her turning into the like pink fairy beast thing. But this is by that artist, Yoshitaka Amano, and I just love this style of art. It's so cool. I didn't really know about this art when I first started playing Final Fantasy VI. Here's the gameplay. You know, it is very high detail sprites, and just really well designed art-wise game. Very fun game nonetheless. And I just think this art style is so unique and so cool. And so she's got like I don't think it's the same guy. This kind of looks like that, what was that game? The like Disney Final Fantasy game. This kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, she's got a little red dress, and she's got a sword, and she's got, just a wild outfit. This guy really liked wild, crazy outfits. I dig it. And she was a cool character. So I kind of tried to do that. Let's see how close I got. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad at all. Yeah. Little fairy wings back there. Let's check her build out. She's a wizard king. Sirens, because my thinking is, her people are the Esper, and she turns into that sort of pink being, like you can kind of tell they're pink back here, right? That thing. The Espers were all different shapes and sizes and configurations. Some kind of look like dragons, some kind of look more like, whales and lizards and sea monsters and stuff. So you couldn't really do, like a proper Esper race, so to speak. His head isn't quite attached. Look at that. How embarrassing. Don't you hate it when your head isn't attached to your body? Yeah, I think those are typical Siron abilities. Maybe Cold-Blooded doesn't quite fit her. So she's kind of morose the whole game because she's aware that like the whole world wants her because she's like this unique hybrid of human and magic, and somehow she's gonna empower all this magical stuff from the bad guy. She's a mystic summoner, makes sense. So she's kind of all about summoning stuff. Astral Wanderer, yeah, she can go between the human realm and the Esper realm. Stage, yeah. And she's a Spellblade. So I thought that sort of made sense. Plus, I think the sword kind of looks right. The sword is enormous, though. I wish it was like, I don't know, 10% smaller. Or like it's scaled up based on the size of your guy, because this would probably look awesome on like a big scary orc. But on, kind of a average height and size human, it looks preposterous. Just a little, there's no way you could lift that thing. I guess she is like a god here, so whatever. Next up, I actually built this character a long time ago, and actually I had her named incorrectly. I named her Teysa Orzov, or Orlov, something like that, because I thought she was the daughter of like a ghost faction from Magic the Gathering. I should mention that. But she's actually like the daughter of a vampire. Karlov is a notable vampire family in Magic the Gathering. I'd forgotten that. But she aligns herself with black and white mana, and they were all about her specific card made a lot of ghosts. I think she made ghosts when things die, so I never what am I saying? I never ascended her, but if I did, I would give her that ability ascension trait from the Tome of Warding, and it just lets you summon like a ghost warrior, I think, in combat. Seems good. Seems fine. She's silver-tongued, because she's all about, the Orzov faction is all about sort of wheeling and dealing. They're kind of like, the corrupt stock market money maker, lender people, and, that sort of thing. I don't know. No, because humans have adaptable. I don't remember why I gave her these specific things, but I did. They're necromancers, because why not? She's a death knight. Yep. Imperialist, silver-tongued necromancers. Yep, that's her. And they're high, it looks like. Yeah, so that was kind of an interesting one. I did high necromancers. The other day I had the idea to do that and see how it played, like giving like zombies and stuff the awaken enchantment. I wonder what that would do. Might be interesting. Might not do anything. I don't know. Yeah, Teysa Karlov. Her outfit. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at the outfits. This one is 100% custom.
Reveal yourself.
There's like that red kimono. I don't know what character model that comes from, but I thought the top was perfect. The skirt obviously is not quite right, but I don't think I could find anything that quite fit right. Plus there's another skirt under it, and if I remember right, that outfit has a lot of clipping issues, especially through the waist. So I had to figure out a way to kind of like stitch her back together. Yeah, so we got the kimono, part of Age of Fashions mod. I gave her some arm thingies, sleeves, as they're often called, where Napoleon keeps his armies up his sleeves. Little belt, big old skirt. Might be a better skirt in there. I don't know. That one? Nah, I don't like that as much. I think I like the white one just because it kind of gave her some contrast. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the one I had. The simple white skirt. Kind of clips a little bit, but it's fine. Yeah, it's just too much red. White skirt looks great. Feet, just some boots. And then, not a ton of accessories. Gave her the fairy wings. Oh, maybe she needs those. Yes, pink fairy wings. That's better. Much better. Sort of implying her pink Esper form. And the accessory is probably these scrolls right here. Yep, she could kind of go magic or sword and board in the game. Like when she was human, she was pretty good at sword and board, and then when she went fairy, I think she got really good magic wise or something. I don't exactly remember. I don't exactly remember. And that last name, Branford. I read about why they chose it, and they just wanted like there was a reason why they went with Branford. I think it means something in like German. Does Ford mean like river? Something like that? I don't remember. But Branford had some implication about her lineage, and they also wanted kind of like a really like American sounding name. I don't know. It was weird. It's a weird choice. It is not like, you don't see like a magical pixie being and think their last name is Branford. Anyway, Branford. Gotta really hit that hard A. Wow, I got pretty close. Pretty close. Okay, we already talked about Teysa. We're just gonna look at her outfit real quick. I'm pretty sure that one's custom too. Oh, I'm wrong. He has a totally vanilla outfit. Yeah, I think that works pretty well for her. Lots of white, lots of gold, a little bit of black. Perfect. Looks very opulent. Excellent. Excellent. Like, the default choice for high culture every time is just gold armor, right? It just looks right. Sometimes it looks kind of fun to do it like a really weird color. Do like high as like, I don't know, green, brown. Oh god, that's awful. We'll go back to gold. There we go. We're not even going to overwrite that. I don't want to mess it up.
Your journey starts here.
Getting ahead of ourselves, not by much though. All right. Thassa Mermaiden. I kind of tried to do a series of from a Magic the Gathering series based on there were like these 5 gods from this really cool sort of Greek-Roman set called Theros. They were kind of a unique, at the time, creature in that they were enchantments, meaning they weren't creatures, they just had like a passive effect. But then if you fulfilled certain conditions, you had to have a certain, it was either alignment or affinity or something like that. You had to have, like, you know how in Age of Wonders you need to have, like, 6 astral pips to unlock certain tomes. Well, it was kind of similar to that. Once they had their affinity unlocked, or not unlocked, but they had the right number of affinity, they became creatures, and they were very powerful creatures. I think they were all indestructible. They had strong abilities, and they were like 5/5s or 4/7s, or they were just like, they were very strong and hard to get rid of. They were cool. And there were 5 of them, and the blue one was like this mermaid creature named Thassa. Mermaiden is one I just came up with. I think I have 1 or 2 other ones in here, like Perforos. He was the god of the forge. A couple of the other ones were kind of hard to do, just because like one is like, I guess I could do it. Oh, it was the green one. I think she was based on the Greek god Artemis, the huntress, I think. But I think in Magic the Gathering, if I remember right, she had like a snake tail. And I didn't want to ascend any of these guys, so I didn't build her. And then the black one was like, he could probably be an eldritch guy. And he was this like freaky looking, almost sort of jester-like. Oh, there's one I just built the other day. A new one. We'll talk about him in a sec. I'm all over the map today. I've had a lot of coffee and it's great. And the white character was just a big dude. He looked a lot like Gideon Jura, basically as like a god. And let's see, that was red, that was white. The blue one's Thassa, the green one's the snake lady, the red one's the guy of the forge, the black one is the jester dude, and blue, black, green, and the green's the snake lady. I think I talked about all of them. And then they went and they did like the hybrid, so there were 10 more. I'm like, I'm not doing 10. So yeah, there's Thassa Mermaiden. She's all about, she's very similar mechanically to another planeswalker I built a long time ago, where I kind of tried to do like a good guy, Eldritch, and this was Cura. They're very similar mechanically, about summoning and lightning, basically, and being part of the sea. Summoning Hermetic Kingdom, and there's Cyrons. Yeah, nothing too crazy about her, I don't think. Let's go back here and look at this guy. This is a guy I built the other day, based off a Magic card. I remember there was a very cool Magic card called Baleful Strix, and it wasn't like a super powerful planeswalker or super powerful wizard. It was just like a mechanical owl that had like Death Touch, flying, and when it died, you drew a card. And it was just a very good utility creature. You just slap it down, you slowed your opponent down from wanting to attack you, because if they did, they'd probably lose a creature, and you'd get to draw a card. It was kind of great. So I tried to sort of make that. They have poisonous. They're industrious, because I wanted them to look really metallic. Furthermore, I gave them the Steel Walker ability, which is the starting racial transformation mod. Prolific Swarmers, they were a very inexpensive card. It cost like 2 mana, but you needed a blue and a black, so not, super easy to get out, but doable. You built your deck just the right way. Athletic, and Overwhelm Tactics. Maybe Defense Tactics. Oh, you know what? They're industrious, so I didn't think they needed any more defense. I went with Overwhelm, because if you could give Baleful Strix First Strike or something, they would just kill anything that attacked into them, more or less. Yeah, so Tannic Copper Feather. I played with his look a lot. We'll look at his looks right now, because you can do some really cool things with owls. Really super cool stuff with owls and their feathers and skin decoration. For example, look at this craziness. How awesome is that? Or this one is pretty rad. There's just some cool stuff in here. Eventually, I just went with this one because I kind of like the sort of look of sort of like this purple, runic, glowy magic on just like brown. I thought it kind of looked dangerous and mysterious and magical. I think his outfit is vanilla. He's got the cool, I guess it's technically a cape, but that one's from Rise of Ruin. That's kind of the fractured guy outfit, but this cape is really cool. Just those kind of weird chest piece and shoulders, and little stringy things. And this piece of armor that's been in the game, I think, since the beginning, and it's just so great. It's just so detailed and spiky and terrifying looking. Yep. So there they are. And I gave him the city name Quenfjorn. It was the first thing that popped up, and I'm like, you know what, Quenfjorn? Today is your time to shine. You don't remember, there was a series I did where one of my neighboring cities was Quenfjorn, and I talked about how that name just burrowed itself into my head, and I couldn't stop thinking about the name Quenfjorn. It's gonna happen again. I hope it doesn't happen to you, because it's maddening. Alright, you got a bonus guy in there, because it's gonna be too hard to track. Talked about Thassa. Thraximunder. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and stand by. You can just enjoy his luck. We've hit magic, 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 magic. This is the magic episode. This is another magic guy. Thraximunder is a magic card. There is a format of magic either called Elder High Dragon or Commander. I think Elder High Dragon was kind of the original name for the format, but then it got shortened to Commander. And basically, you have like a commander that sits outside your deck, and you can cast him anytime you have the mana available. Well, anytime on your turn, excluding, normal restrictions and stuff. And the idea is that if they die, they go back to this command zone, and it costs two more generic mana to cast them the next time. So you kind of always have this creature, and they had to be legendary. And your deck was all singles. You couldn't have any duplicates other than land, unless your card specifically said you may have more than one of this creature or whatever in your deck. That was like the one workaround, but usually those cards were very weird and specific. That's neither here nor there. Also, your commander's color identity dictated what colors you could have in your deck. Thraximunder was Grixis colored, meaning he was black, red, and blue mana. I don't know what's giving him this. What's giving him the green? Very curious. I don't know. Race Grixis. He's a frost giant. Or this is giving you the green mana. Cult of Death. Oh, it's the Dark Cult of Death. That's what it is. That gives you a nature pip. Man, just ignore that. It doesn't matter. So the very first commander deck I built was based off of Thraximunder. He was just this big monster, I think he's a 7/7, which is very large in Magic the Gathering. He was a zombie assassin, he is a zombie, and he assassinates people. He doesn't assassinate zombies. I mean, he does assassinate zombies, but that's kind of, irrelevant. He just assassinates regardless of what your living state might be. So his card did something like he has haste, so he comes down and he can attack right away, and then when he attacks, your opponent has to sacrifice a creature, and every time your opponent, I forget if they sacrifice something or if something dies. I think it's specifically if they sacrifice something, he gets bigger. So he kind of attacks as an 8/8 when he hits the table, and he's a big problem. So I wanted to make him, just to kind of honor him as my original commander. They're Cult of Dark, Cult of Death. He is a Frost Giant King, because I wanted all that death and ice and bleh. He's got a big bone axe. He's a warrior. My thing is he's just going to run in and hit stuff. Tome of Tentacle. I didn't want to give him... I think maybe that's how I was getting some astral affinity in there, would be my guess. Nothing else quite fit right. Yeah, that's probably right. Probably what I did. Kind of fits him. He's kind of dark and yucky and making stuff. Overwhelm Tactics. He wants to crit super hard. He stinks. He's a zombie. He's cold-blooded. He's got weak constitution. Interesting. I don't know why I chose that, but why not? They are Ritual Cannibals and Scions of Evil. He's a Conqueror, Demonic Warlord. I think his outfit is pretty vanilla. I don't think I have any mods running on him. He's got that cool Titan helmet with that freaky deaky smile, which I think is just perfect. He's got some blood on his chest. His skin is purple. It's kind of hard to tell in this light. He's got like purplish gray skin. He's just a big dead zombie dude. Yeah, there's Thraximunder. Alright, next up. Tifa Lockheart. This is the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering episode. Tifa Lockheart is from Final Fantasy VII. She is one of the playable characters. A possible love interest for the main character, Cloud Strife. And she specializes in like brawler, not magic, melee combat. And she gets gloves and she punched people really hard with them. There was one time I was playing the game, bajillion years ago, and her limit break is she gets this like, let's see, what was it? She get the slot machine? No, she had some other mechanic for her. Every character's limit break was a little bit different. There's like a little mini game, if I remember right, or not. I can't remember. And one of her abilities in her limit break is she would like suplex enemies, and so she'd run over to him, like pick him up, and then like smash him into the ground. And I did that limit break on a boss that was just like this big, warp wall thing. It was like a gateway guardian or something, kind of in the middle of the game. And she picked up this like wall and like ripped it off the side of the building and then like smashed it into the ground and then went whoop, right back into the wall. It was really funny. Anyway, she also had a magic card recently in a recent set. That is why I built a bunch of Final Fantasy VII characters. So I was like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII would be great for Age of Wonders 4. So I built a bunch of them. So we got her little fist icon there. She's all over the map color-wise, but I think it kind of works. She's a champion. She's a warrior. She got herself Martial Cestus. She's got Tome of Discipline because she's going to make other people that punch super hard. And Empowered Strikes. I love... This is one of my favorite tomes, Tome of Discipline, just for these Empowered Strikes. I think it's so good. Get this early on, and you just stun lock everything for the rest of the game. And then, I mean, everything else in here is really good too. Monks are probably my least favorite part of it, just because I find them a little squishy, but they're actually, once they get like full medals, full rank, they're okay. They're not amazing, but they're pretty good. They'll get you the middle game, but they might get a little squishy towards the end of the game. Avalanche was the name of her rebellion faction. At one point in the game, very early on, you're crawling up this like pipe, this gutter, and you can see in the background someone's like graffiti tagged on this wall. But instead of avalanche, they misspelled it. They spelled it Avalarche, so it said avalanche or something like that. I don't know if they fixed that in the recent re-release, but everyone was kind of like, what? They're human. They strong. They overwhelm. They just want to crit super hard. And they're elusive. I probably didn't have anything else that quite fit the bill. They're barbarians, so they really, really want a critical. Devotee's good, and they got Amazonian physique. This is the starting racial transformations again. So they're just not only gonna crit super hard, they're gonna be a little tanky and punch super hard. She's a challenger. She's a revolutionary diplomat. I think she looks pretty darn spot on. She's got the little Lara Croft, what are they called? I want to say Daisy Dukes or booty shorts, but they're just like little tiny, ridiculous hip hugger shorts. I think in the game she had like a mini skirt. We didn't quite have a black mini skirt, so I'm like, whatever, it's fine, it's close enough. Her outfit is very custom.
What is your people's form?
But I think she looks pretty awesome. Pretty darn awesome, if I do say so myself. Pretty accurate. She's got the little tube top. Where is it? Yep. This one was a little too revealing, so I went with that one. Yeah. We got the cargo shorts that would hold like a quarter. And we got I gave her just a little bit of armor. Just some ridiculous armor and a belt. I thought she needed something across her middle. I love all the belty bits. And just something to cover a little more skin. And then the big old boots. There's even more boots, but I think I like all the buckles on that. Nice texture. And that's everything. Yeah. Cool custom outfit. Her build, her face. I think that face works pretty well for her. Very serious. Yeah. There she is.
Your journey
Tifa Lockheart.
begins.
She's a black belt. I love that. What city name? Seventh Heaven. That was the name of the bar I think she worked in. Like the Avalanche headquarters was a bar. The underground, or not underground, but trapdoor to the basement. Yeah. Okay, this is a fun one. I was hoping we were gonna get to this one soon. This is a dragon based off of my dog. I already have a character based off of my dog, Torgo the Floof. This is if my dog was a anthropomorphic humanoid. This is my dog is if he was a dragon. This actually doesn't look too far off. I wonder if I have a picture on my dog to pull up. I have a white corgi poo, and he's adorable. And he doesn't look too far off with this. Minus the wings, obviously. His legs could maybe be a little longer, but I wanted to make him really short and stubby and cute. So he's the cute little dragon. Rawr! I'm Torgo de Corgo. I'll bite your fucking face off. Oops, I dropped an F-bomb. Whoops. Well, I already flagged these as not safe for kids, so, you know, it's bound to happen sooner or later. He's the Torgosaurus. They're lupine. That means dogs. Defense tactics, white wolf mounts, barbarians, vigilante knights, fabled hunters. I kind of want to send this guy just so he can show up in my games. I think that'd be fun. That's another time. His look should be pretty easy to figure out. He's got, you know, the fluffy body. He's got like the shortest, you know, neck, body, legs, tail possible. Small little wings. He's just a little tiny baby dragon. And he's adorable. I love him. Alright, this is the next one. We got a proto. Finally, a proto. I really like this guy. I think he looks so cool. This is Uishin The Unkillable. He's a demon. He's a big scary demon guy. And these guys came out in the Ways of War, I think that was. So we made a Oni Oathsworn Strife demon. Inner fire, you know, standard Oni settings. I gave him Tome of Discipline because this tome came out in Tome of Discipline. Adept Settlers and Ruthless Raiders. They're just going to show up and take over, basically. His outfit is not fully vanilla. I know that's kind of usually one of my parameters for the protos that I build, but I really like... the only thing different is I put these arrows in him. I like the name Uishin. I liked him being like an unkillable demon, so I just stuck some arrows in his chest. Yep. Yep, arrows all over him. I love it. He's just scary looking. I love the twisty, irregular horns. Super cool. Yep. And he doesn't have any skin decoration. Huh. He just got... Ow. How's he got red skin? He's got red and white skin. That's very strange. How did I do that? How I do this? Huh, you just got like some natural highlights. Alright, good on you, dude. Cool. I love it. I like the idea of him being sort of like a pale white demon. You know? I don't know why. I just thought that was kind of interesting. With a little bit of red in there. Oops. It doesn't quite ditch very nicely, does it? That's fine. If you ever see the back of his head, good on you. Yep. So that's Uishin.
Your journey.
I think they're cool. I don't think he's ever shown up in any of my games. I'd really like to fight against him sometime. I think that'd be cool. We've talked about all these guys. Anek Copper Feather. Tifa Lockheart, Torgosaurus, Uishin, Ulamog, the All-Consuming. Another Magic the Gathering. And looking ahead, we got another Final Fantasy VI. 7. Well, Ultima Weapon, I think, is in a lot of the games. Anyway, Ulamog is another one of the Eldrazi, Eldritch Being things. Again, these guys I was so excited to build them into the game because I'm like, oh, Eldritch Beings are going to be great for Eldrazi. Unfortunately, they don't translate very well to Age of Wonders, both mechanically and the look. So, you just kind of have to, understand this name, Ulamog, does this kind of stuff. I'll bring up his magic card because he's kind of crazy looking. Pausing also let me have a drink of coffee. So there's Ulamog. You can kind of see he's got a crazy head, bifurcated arms and fingers, and lots of tentacles, and ceaseless hunger. What did I call him? All-consuming or something like that? Where are you? All-consuming. I wonder why I didn't call him the ceaseless hunger. Well, we can fix that. So as you can see, yeah, just lots of tentacles. He's kind of got the arms right. I wish I could give him more arms. I think that'd be cool. The head's not quite right, but, you got tentacles, lots of them. And, yeah. They are some of the Horde. He's an elementalist. That's interesting. Maybe he should be a warlock. I'd have to look at the other Eldrazi. I can't remember what they all are. They're barbarians, prolific swarmers, umbral disciples. I think I gave all of them umbral disciples. Insectoids, overwhelmed tactics, ceaseless cacophony, cold-blooded. Those might be standard insect traits. I can't quite remember. So yeah, there's Ulamog. I'm gonna change his name. What was it? The Ceaseless Hunger? Ceaseless Hunger. I'm gonna have to move my mic while I type because it's hard to type right at my keyboard at the moment. Is that right? Ceaseless Hunger. Sure enough. Like capital T. Great. Overwrite. Super duper. Your
journey.
Dig it. Alright, last one. Here we go. Here we go. And it was a Final Fantasy character. Ultima Weapon. I know this guy was in Final Fantasy VII. He may have shown up in other... Like, one of their tropes was they had this Ultima monster show up in a lot of their games. Maybe all of them? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was in Final Fantasy VI. I think he later became an Esper that you could have, that you could learn some spells from. He doesn't quite look like a dragon all the time, but he's usually like a four-legged monster with kind of like a monstrous head, and sometimes had wings and a tail. So I'm like, he's gonna be a dragon. They are lizard folk. I think these are standard lizard folk settings. They're mystic. Interesting. Mystic potential. Okay, he cast one of the most powerful spells in the game, which was Ultima, which is like usually portrayed as this big like white mushroom cloud of energy, you know, just sort of made to look really weird and terrifying. Pardon me.
Their society?
Powerful evokers and infernal spawn. If I could give this guy, you know what this guy would probably benefit from? I took that mod that lets him.
What is your ruler's origin?
Oh, yeah, I would have to play him. I took the mod and turned the mod on that. Oh yeah, order. That seems right. In Final Fantasy VI, I accidentally realized that when I fought him one time, if you equipped a certain materia that was like healing or like dispel magic as like a resistance, his attacks ended up healing my party. And I was like, what on earth? So that's how I ended up beating him. A lot of times I would equip that to all my guys and just like his attacks, his magic attacks would heal me. Then he'd, backhand one of my guys and kill him. Rude. He's got purple skin and he's got some stripy stripes. Just gives him a little definition. Yeah, I kind of like it. He's a big dragon. Big dragon, little neck. Little teeny tiny neck. And yeah, got green eyes. Can't hardly tell, they're very squinty. Yeah, he's just a big dragon dude. I was trying to say, but I started to ramble and I lost my train of thought. Oops, that's not where I want to look at. They're dragon people. Yeah.
Your journey begins.
Deal. I think that was one of the final areas you fought this guy. You had to fight this guy a couple of times throughout the game. Shadow Flare, that was the name of one of his abilities. Yeah. Let's see. What was it? I don't need to save him. But I was going to say, I quick ascended using that mod godification. I quick ascended a dragon. Where is he? Burbrain Brian. Maelstrom. So I quick ascended him. Why don't you let me do it? What's going on? Get out of here. I quick ascended him because I took that mod that lets me... Oops. There's a mod that lets you basically make a fractured dragon. And it's super cool. I did the mod spotlight on it. So maybe Ultima Weapon would be good with this, but to get these online, I'd have to ascend them, and I don't really want to send Ultima Weapon. These are for like my custom guys, a lot of my custom guys, and certain characters that I just really, really love. So yeah, there's our 10. Thank you for watching. I've been Rexel2520. This has been my custom faction showcase. Get them up here on the screen because I'm gonna need to take a screenshot anyway. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Starts here.
Down here. Ultima Weapon. Another Final Fantasy character coming up. There we are. There's our 10. No, get out of here, Teferi. Oh, wait. Do we need to go one more? We started at Terra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we get to go one more. Ultros, another Magic or Final Fantasy character. Though they also made a magic card out of this guy. Ultros was in Final Fantasy VI. It was this one of the lesser antagonists. He was this like octopus, this giant evil octopus. And he was kind of comic relief. He was never very hard to beat, but he showed up at very inopportune times, very random times too. You wouldn't be anywhere close to water, and he'd be like, "Waha! Surprise!" and he'd attack you. And he was never very hard to beat. But I wanted to include him because I've got all the other Final Fantasy characters, so I included him. And you can make an octopus character pretty easily. He is Elder Sovereign, Ritualist, Relic of the Cosmos, Tome of Tentacle, of course, Riverfolk, Toadkin. So I think these are typical frog abilities. Excuse me. Primal Crocodile. So he's all about being in the water. and he wanted to steal. He wanted to steal something from the heroes. I can't remember what. A specific piece of equipment, if I remember right. Can't remember for the life of me though. But yeah. There he is, Ultros. Just a big blue purple octopus guy coming to wreck your day. So there we are. Now I can say my outro. Thanks for joining me for Mixel2520. This has been another episode of my Custom Faction Showcase. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.